Peace and blessings. Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. It's so good to be here with you today. This is Queen Leah Lewis of Beautiful and Sacred Things, and grateful for this moment of the 20 Days of Gratitude Marathon Experience. Today is D7, and we are in day 7. Yes. So, welcome to all of the wonderful people over in YouTube world who are following. Great things are happening over in the Beautiful and Sacred Soul Sisters community at Facebook. It's a private Facebook group that I facilitate. So if you're interested, come on over there and join us to simply go to the link, which is beautifulandsacredsoul.com, and request to become a member of the group, and I will add you, and you can be one of the soul sisters. We are the growing global community of spiritual women becoming who we are born to be. So let me go ahead and set up this live. There we go. Fantastic. Hello, Soul Sisters. Greetings. How are you today? It's Queen Leah here. So glad to be sharing with you 20 days of gratitude. We are now in day 7. Is that right? Day 7? Is it day 8? Is it day 7 or day 8? I know we're making progress in this journey and we're moving forward. Day 7, in fact. So thank you so much for joining me. We're not going to be long today because tonight is the full moon. Yes, ma'am. We spent a lot of time talking about that yesterday evening about the full moon and how this is an opportunity for us to surrender anxiety, irritation, irritability, fears, negative energy, limiting beliefs, people, thoughts, experiences that do not serve our highest good. So this is a time of surrender, ladies. So we're not going to be too late tonight because I got to get up under the moon and do my work as well. And I hope that you are too. Greetings. Hello, Sister Annie Maria. Hello, Elizabeth from New Jersey. So glad to have you all here. So glad to have you all here. So because today is this new moon in excuse me, I keep saying new moon, but I mean to be saying full moon, this full moon in Gemini and a lunar eclipse. I shared yesterday that this is the book that we refer to, that we use in the Sally Walker Sisterhood, the inner circle of beautiful and sacred things. This book is highly recommended. If you don't have it, go ahead and get it. And I know it says new moon astrology, but what it provides is it lets you know what are the properties or what are the energies of each moon cycle, right? And therefore, you just look at it in terms of it being the full moon, but it gives you information about each moon cycle and how you can align your intentions and your spiritual work with that moon cycle. So, greetings, Sister Shannon. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. So this is a little bit of a moment to talk about the importance of full moon work, of doing moon work. When I became consistent in doing moon work, that is when I really saw that my natural gift, I have a natural gift of manifesting. It's one of my, divinely feminine blessings that has been part of me for years. When I set my mind to something, it comes into form. But when I started doing moon work, when I started, and by moon work, I'll be more specific, but when I started moon work, that's when I saw that I was really harmoniously manifesting with less forcing, less effort, less, having to do physical action and having to, put things in place, working less from my masculine, but allowing myself to receive things, just showing up in my life, things coming out of the blue, as we say in Sally Walker, opportunities, resources, information, just showing up. So I had a degree of that, before my moon work, but once I tapped into doing new moon intention setting work and full moon release and clearing work, child, it has been like butter, you know, butter, the way in which things are flowing into my life. So tonight's conversation, and again, we're not going to be too long. Some of you have just joined, but I wanted to say because it is the full moon, I want to encourage you to do your full moon work, and we'll discuss what some of those options might be for you. Peace and blessings. Greetings, Sister Tosh. So glad to see you here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, moon work is also called lunar work. Some people call it moon manifesting. Some people call it magic. Some people call it spiritual work. It all of those things are synonymous. It kind of depends on the community or the teacher with whom you are working, or who was the person who introduced you to it, or how you even may have grown up in it, right? But the key is this: we live in a universe that is governed by seasons and cycles. When we look at the master teacher of God's creation, right? When we look at the master example of God's creation, we can see that things happen in our universe cyclically, okay? Seasonally. And there's a rhythm in which things unfold in the cosmos. So the most apparent example, of course, is the seasons, right? We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. Spring, summer, fall, winter. So when we, as people who are spiritual women, when we observe that cycle, when we observe those seasons as our ancestors have, we know that there is a season, there is a time and a place for everything. So spring is your time for planting, for beginning, when things begin coming, up out of the ground. Things are new, things are fresh. And then in summer, we begin to see abundance. We see plenty. We see beauty. We see sweetness. We see that property of attraction, and perhaps is, pinnacle moment in the seasons where birds and bees and all of these things are just, mating, right? Then we go into fall, and fall is the time of release. We see, look at the trees. What are the trees doing? Those trees that were first, beginning to bud, and then that blossom and fruit, right, in summer, by fall, they begin to diminish, right? They begin to shake off some of the things that they have been carrying, and they let any excess weight and things that are not necessary in that part of its life cycle just fall to the ground. They don't even hold on to it. They don't even try to keep it. It just falls off easily and effortlessly. So those things to fall to the ground, to be received by Mother Earth, and to be composted, and that energy to be refreshed and renewed. And then winter is the dark season, right? And darkness is wonderful because everything comes out of the darkness. Everything starts in the state of invisibility, right? We don't see it, and then it comes forward into light. So in the winter, that is a time where things kind of withdraw. Everything goes back into the deep core, the womb of Mother Earth, if you will, to be restored, to draw up energy, to draw up nourishment so that it can be revitalized, to be rebirthed again in the spring. So those are the seasons, right? When we look at those seasons, we can also see that in our life, oftentimes, when you look at the journey of your life, and that might be an interesting exercise to see how there have been seasons that unfold in your life. When have you been in a springtime? When have you been in a summertime? When are you in a fall harvest moment of abundance, and at the same time celebrating the harvest of summer and letting things go? So if you don't feel like you're in your moment of blessing, quite so to speak, right now, if you feel like you may be going through a time of difficulty, if you're going through a time where you're kind of being tested and tried and having to learn some things, that's okay. Just follow through with the course of things, because nature shows us that your moment is coming. Your moment is coming. Your moment is coming. Your spring, your summer is coming, right? So let's get to the moon work. So that speaks to seasons. So, very much like that, when we look at the lunar cycle is cyclical. So there is a cycle in which the mother moon, Oshupa, as the Yoruba people speak her name. Okay, Mawu is another ancient name of the moon, moon goddess, moon energy, moon spirit, moon planet, moon star, right? We see that 90-day cycle, 28-day cycle with the moon, a 28-day cycle. So lunar cycles, in fact, predate historically solar cycles. Ancient people followed the moon and followed the patterns of the moon to order their lives, to order their culture, to order their planting, their agriculture, to order their rituals and ceremonies. It was first the moon before it became, the rise of the sun god, the sun deities, okay? But it was the moon. It was that feminine energy first. So every 28 days, the moon is going through this beautiful dance, this beautiful dance in the heavens of the dark moon, that time when the moon is not visible to the naked eye. Okay, we don't see, we look up in the sky and we see stars, in darkness, but the moon is not visible, though, of course, it's present. And as the moon continues its orbit, if that's the right word, then we begin to see parts of the moon. We begin to see, a little sliver during that new moon cycle. That new moon cycle is a beginning. That's the beginning of the cycle. That's the time for planting intentions. What do you want to see come into your life? What do you want to manifest, as I like to say, as we say, manifest in your life? Plant that intention with the new moon, okay? And as the moon begins to gain more visibility, okay, as it begins to take on more light, we see more of the moon. So it goes from that little small new moon where we see a sliver, and then we begin to see a half moon, and then we begin to see a quarter, 3/4 moon, and then we see a full moon. That full moon, by the time the full moon has come, then those intentions that you have planted in the new moon, those things that have been the focus of your prayer, the focus of your meditation, the focus of your visualization, the focus of your speaking, and the focus of your action, right? All of those things align. By the full moon, you are at a place of celebration. You are celebrating manifestation because those things have come into form in some way in your life, either entirely, or we trust, this invisible process, and knowing that the energy of spirit and the energy of the universe is bearing us up. Everything that we desire in our life, it may not take 28 days. Some things take longer than 28 days. But even still, as you honor those seasons and cycles, in that cycle, every new moon, planting that intention, renewing that intention, increasing that intention, going to the next level or the next step in manifesting that thing, all of the energy of the cosmos, all of the energy of creation is supporting you. That's energy work. That's energy work. That's working with the energy. It's being conscious and being intentional and saying, well, if God, the creator, if the universe is going through this cycle of bringing things to light, let me align what I desire with this cycle so that it is coming to light as well. My people, and I've shared this before, thank y'all for the hearts and thank you all for the thumbs up. But my ancestors and my parents grew up in the country in Louisiana. Okay. So they were good Christian people. So I don't know that they were looking at the moon with the intention of setting, personal goals, and looking at it as a spiritual work. But it was deeply spiritual in the sense that their growing food was connected to observing the heavens, observing the moon phases. My grandparents, Ma and Papa JC, the Jordans, those who were the sharecroppers, okay, talking about my mother's parents, my mother tells me that her mother, my grandmother, had a farmer's almanac. If you've never gotten a farmer's almanac, it would be fun to just get one. I always encourage you all to plant and to grow food because there are so many lessons There's so much wisdom. There's so many gifts that you will gain as a spiritual woman, just being in the practice of growing something, whether it's a house plant or whether it's some vegetables in containers, or whether you actually start a garden in your yard or participate with a local community garden. Observing that harvest cycle, right? That seed to harvest cycle, like my ancestors did. Okay. Planting on purpose, planting consciously. It empowers you. It absolutely will empower you. You will understand that when I plant that seed, and I plant that seed in faith, when I plant that intention, when I plant that intention with faith, when I plant that goal, that heart's desire, when I plant it with faith, there is a force greater than me that is supporting me, and that is bearing up my goals, that is bearing up my heart's desires, that is giving increase to my prayers. One of the things I love to say at Sankofa Gardens is we plant the seeds, but God gives the increase. I can't make that seed grow. I can't. I can follow all of the steps, right? I can do all of the things that are intelligent and that are scientific and that are coherent, but there is this grace. There is this the grace of my ancestors, the grace of the creator, the grace of the angels that are also working to make that thing come into form. Okay, so that is the power of doing moon work. That is the power of moon work. I can tell you about it, but you got to try it for yourself. You got to try it for yourself. And it can be as simple as, again, setting an intention with the new moon, writing it on paper, writing it as an affirmative statement. I am calling into my life. I am grateful for. See it as if it's already done. We talked about scripting yesterday, and put it there. Put it in a sacred space in your home. If you don't have a sacred space, create one. If you need support creating a sacred space, those are the kinds of things that we teach and that we practice and that we support one another with as a community in the Sally Walker inner circle of beautiful and sacred things. If you'd like some one-on-one assistance, well, then you can also book a session with me. And I'd be happy to do that, to give you that guidance and support and encouragement. So let's go to the full moon, because that's where we are. We're sitting on this full moon, like right up in it. The full moon, as I mentioned, is the time of celebration. Think about it. You've planted your intentions. The moon has been increasing. You've been working, you've been doing your interpersonal work from the inside out. Let me pause for a moment, because that's a teachable moment. Manifesting, manifesting, bringing things into form is a inside out process. Transformation, growth happens from the inside out. Look at the example of the seed. Okay, look at the example of the seed. Watermelon seed, my favorite. I love watermelon. Apple seed, onion seeds, which are super tiny. A bean is a seed, right? A coconut is a seed, right? So, but that seed holds within itself, encoded in that seed, the creator has encoded in that seed the DNA that is the blueprint for that acorn, tiny, tiny acorn, to become a sprawling live oak. And here in Louisiana, and I know my sister Shannon knows, and I know my sister Annie Maria over in Savannah knows, where there are lots of beautiful live oaks. It's amazing to see how that acorn can make a tree that is like as wide as a house, almost as wide as a house sometimes, right? And can live to be 200 and 300 years old. So that same genius, that infinite intelligence genius of the creator, is also operating within us, right? Because we began even smaller than that, right? And then conception happened, right? And then we grew in our mother's womb in darkness. And then here we are now having this conversation right now. But within us, even encoded at that very beginning, was all of the potential, all of the promise, all of the gifting, all of the talents, all of the destiny that we came to fulfill in this lifetime. And so it's emerging from the darkness, okay, in the womb, right? The darkness of even as an idea, right? And then it comes to light. So doing moon work, and I'm getting back to the full moon, I haven't forgotten. Y'all know I talk in circles. Um, not in circles in that way, but like storytelling, right? African style talking. Even in the what I wanted to say is this, let me get to the point. Is remembering that things start in the dark and then they come to the light means to me, and this is what I have learned, and this is what I'm offering at this moment, is that you will assist yourself in doing, creating, manifesting, bringing to life, accomplishing, succeeding when you take the time, when you just take the time to do your spiritual work first. When you take the time to pray about it first, when you take the time to hold it in meditation and to get clarity about it first, when you take the time to set your intention, whether you're lighting candles or whatever it is that you're doing, and I highly recommend that because there's a lot of vibration in setting intentions and bringing fire energy to it. That helps when you take the time to do your spiritual baths, to clear your energy, right? And then to get centered and say, okay, I am setting my intention, this thing is important for me, okay, and I'm going to do my spiritual work around it first. That is starting in the dark first. That's what I mean by starting in the dark. You're starting in the invisible realm of spirit, because everything that we see in this three-dimensional reality, this reality that we can touch, this reality that we can feel, this reality that we can smell and that we can taste, that we sense, right? Everything here began first in the invisible. This table, this computer, this technology, this internet was an idea. Okay, it was a concept before it was materialized and it took form, just like we were concepts in the consciousness of God before we took form. So consider yourself as you are a child of God, a daughter of God, a goddess, right? And that same spark of consciousness of being a creator is operating within you. Okay. So be intentional in how you create. Be intentional in how you create. I hope this is coming through clearly. Sister Annie Maria says, yes, the trees are so majestic. They are. I look forward to coming to visit you. We got to come visit you in Savannah. I've only been there once, but it's different from New Orleans. Of course it's different because it's a different place. Um, the energy was very unique. The architecture, because I was in Old Savannah, the architecture was familiar, the cobblestone streets and, the um the wrought iron and everything. But, it has a very different, very old energy there. And then y'all are coastal too. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we had to come to your goddess suite and come experience all of your wonderful services and all of the wonderful things that you do with your client, Sister Annie Maria. Sister Annie Maria, since I'm talking about her, I'm going to go ahead and brag on her a moment. She is the author of an amazing book. It's an ebook on spiritual bathing, spiritual baths. And so that's something that I have mentioned as a sacred arts tool for you to use. There's so many tools that we can use. Again, these are gifts of the creator, but earth, air, fire, water, right? Earth, air, fire, water, the elementals that are the ancient foundation of the cosmos, right? When we align with those elementals, that is part of the process of bringing things into form. So spiritual baths support your healing. They support you in manifesting. They support you in attracting and drawing things into your life. Sister Annie Maria, make sure you please post your book um, in the group. Okay, let us know how we can purchase your book, because the Bast Holiday Market 2020 is happening, and this is a soul sister who has a wonderful offering, and I'm going to create like a thread also. So if you all have some nice things that you are offering during this holiday season, while we're shopping women-owned businesses and shopping Black businesses and shopping spirit businesses, let's support one another. Let's make conscious decisions. It doesn't have, Cyber Monday is now, but it doesn't mean we have to stop today. We're going to keep going. And I have a vision, moving into the future of how we can do more cooperative economics together, as women of spirit and women of business. So thank you, Sister Annie Maria. I saw lots of thumbs up. I know I have a lot of rising entrepreneurs and rising leaders here. So as we move into 2021, look forward to opportunities, particularly for the women who are members of the Sally Walker Inner Circle. I'll be focusing my energy because those women have made a commitment, right? They've made a commitment to grow. They've made that investment in themselves. And so the vision that has been unfolding in my life is to really continue cultivating and supporting and collaborating and growing together with these women for their leadership goals and projects and programs and businesses and brands. So it's some exciting things coming up. All right. Greetings, Manzella. Greetings, Taria. Thank you all for being here. So let me get back to the full moon. Y'all thought I forgot. I didn't forget. So the full moon, I took that teachable moment to make the impression about the value of starting in the darkness, right? Taking the time to do the spiritual work first so that the things that you are manifesting come forward in flow and they come forward in ease, right? You can go ahead and just do it by your own might. You can do it by your own intelligence. You can do it by your own talent, right? But that's you doing it. But when you put God in the mix, when you put spirit in the mix, right? When you put your invisible support of your guardians and guides in the mix, you're going to have greater success with less stress. There we go. Greater success with less stress. The full moon is the time of celebrating those things that you planted at the time of the new moon. Okay. At that point, you are looking at like, oh, I done manifested some things. Okay. Maybe some money done showed up. Maybe an opportunity has come. Maybe a relationship has improved. Maybe, you've had, you done took a trip. Maybe something has traveled. Maybe you have more inner peace. Maybe you have more happiness, more joy, whatever it is, you see that unfolding in your life and you give celebration at the time of the full moon. That's the first thing. You're celebrating your success in manifesting, right? And then as the moon is full, then it goes into, so this is a full moon, right? Then it goes into a cycle called waning. So that new moon increasing to the full moon is called waxing. And then the waxing moon, okay, the full moon, then it begins to wane. So then that full moon begins to diminish in size. And that's when we see the full moon starts going down to a 3/4 moon, then it goes to a half moon, and then we see a little bit of a crescent, okay? And then it's making its way to back to the dark moon, right? So that is the cycle every 28 days. As women, we are very in touch with it because our menstrual cycle is connected with the moon cycle. That's why it's called moon time. Some people call it your moon time, right? Some of y'all know this, I know already. Elizabeth says greater success with less stress. Yes, ma'am. Child, take it from me. Greater success with less stress. It's just worth it. It's like that's the spiritual woman's divinely feminine way. Greater success, less stress. Greater success with ease and grace, greater success with joy, greater success with pleasure. Okay, all of those things are possible. And when we, of course, we're multifaceted women. So we need to call up the warrior. If we need to call up that masculine energy, if we need to call up the boss, we can call up those aspects of ourselves. But having been a woman who led with that for so many decades of my life, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to kind of suppress this masculine forcing things, and I'm learning how to live in a different way. And I love it. I love it. During the full moon, at this time of the full moon, where we are now, the full moon lunar eclipse, watch yesterday's replay. I'm not going to repeat what I've already expressed, but yesterday's replay has lots of juicy gems, lots of juicy gems of how you can use this moment and this energy to focus on a few there are a few reflection questions that were there. There are a few reflection questions, and that would be a wonderful thing to journal about, because journaling helps you to be introspective and to get in touch with your thinking, to get in touch with your feeling, to get in touch with where you are at. If you find by doing that exercise, doing those exercises, that you need to release, it's time to let go of some things that are not, that you don't want to carry forward. The full moon is an ideal time for doing that. We discussed strategies yesterday, so watch yesterday's replay because there's lots of goodness there. But one additional strategy, and I have mentioned it before, but it bears worth saying it again, is the things that you do not want to carry forward. Working with this universal energy that is our gift of our environment. Write those things down on a sheet of white paper, or it can be a brown paper bag, either one is fine. But write it down, everything that you want to release. I am releasing. And I personally like to say, because again, it's the power of the spoken word, I am freely releasing. Even if I have resistance, I say I am freely releasing because I am invoking the intention of freely letting it go. In fact, I did that this morning. I am freely surrendering. I am freely releasing. I am freely surrendering. I am freely letting go of. I am freely sending away from me whatever speaks to you. And then identify those things that you are opening your hand so that it can just go. Okay? Be like the tree. Be like the tree in the fall season and let it just fall away from you. And then you take that list and you go outside, or you go to a window where you can open it up and you burn the list and you burn it. So energetically, you are transforming that energy. Fire is a rapid transformer. You are transforming that energy of those things that have been a concern, okay? Something that has been weighing you down, or something that you've carried and been engaging, and you're letting it go. And just simply doing that ritual, simply doing that sacred art ceremony, sacred, beautiful and sacred, that thing is a signal to God, your guides, your guardians, to your own subconscious, and to all of the benevolent forces of the universe that you are ready to make a change. You are signaling, you are sending, you girl, you done send a smoke signal. You are sending, that's kind of funny when you think about it, but you really have sent a signal. You have sent a signal and made an energetic shift. You've shifted the energy just with that burning. Okay. So then the opportunity that you have as that moon continues to wane, as it continues to diminish in size, is then you're still paying attention to your thinking. You're still being cognizant of your feeling. You're still paying attention to your habits and actions. And you remember that commitment that you made. You remember the commitment you made to yourself, right? The commitment that you made to yourself to surrender, to release, and to let that thing go. And it's as if that Full moon work, it like marks a turning point in your life. It does. It marks a turning point in your life. Energetically, you have shifted the energy. You burned it. You sent it away. Okay. And energy is never destroyed. It just changes form. So you're releasing that energy, and pray that the energy that you're releasing will return to you as something good, as something beneficial, as something that is benevolent, as something that supports you in your true desires for your life. And that, again, that it supports the highest good. I always say that. I pray for the highest good, because in praying for the highest good, that's the highest good for me, and that's the highest good for, all. The highest good for me and the highest good for all. Yes, I know, a spiritual and a literal smoke signal. Isn't that something to think about it that way? It's like, oh, that is a smoke signal. How about that? Yes, 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 yes. Can you ladies drop the work in the comments? What work? Oh, what work are you talking about? Zariah. You're talking about from yesterday, but all of the replays from each day are posted in the announcements. So in the Beautiful and Sacred Soul Sisters group. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're over here in a beautiful Facebook community called Beautiful and Sacred Soul Sisters. You can join by visiting beautifulandsacredsoul.com, and you will find it there. So what we discussed on yesterday, just take a look at the replay. For tonight, I was simply saying burn, because again, we have this full moon lunar eclipse, and there's an article also posted in the group about the energy of this full moon. But it's an eclipse that's going to resound until the next eclipse on December 14th. And again, basically, let me put it like this. This is an opportunity. Let me say it with all sincerity and seriousness, because I want you to really, really, really appreciate what I'm expressing. The work that you do with this full moon, lunar eclipse, and then the work that is approaching in December is an excellent opportunity to clear the slate of 2020. It is an excellent opportunity to release any heaviness, concerns, worries, any of the energy. This has been a very turbulent, a very revolutionary, a very challenging, for some of us, a sorrowful year. It has been a year of monumental shift and change, unlike anything that I think any of us have experienced in our lifetimes, politically, socially, personally. Okay? Because we are at this crossroads of moving into a new calendar year. That's a new cycle, right? We talked about seasons and cycles and rhythms. We are going into a new calendar year. Give yourself the gift. Give yourself the gift of releasing the things, the energies that you care not to carry into 2021. Okay? As a spiritual woman, I've missed you too, Elizabeth, and I'm so glad that you are here. Welcome back. As a spiritual woman, a woman of spirit, okay? A woman owning her divine feminine power of being a divinely feminine manifestation of the Creator, okay? And all of the gifts that it comes with it. It has been my experience. It is my philosophy, and it is my firm belief. And this is truth. This is truth. This ain't just an opinion. This is a truth that you, I, one, we, she, y'all, you are responsible for the quality of your life. You are responsible for the quality of your life, your experiences, and this journey. That's what it means to be responsible. Okay? You are responsible for your life. I personally have learned that no one is coming to save me. I have friends, I have family, I have loved ones, I have people who care about me. And yes, we do need one another. And yes, we need a village. But when it comes to, am I happy? Am I happy with myself? Am I happy with the life that I'm living? Am I happy when I look around with the choices in my life? Am I happy with my relationships? Am I happy with my experiences? That's an internal thing. That is a personal thing. That is something that I must make decisions about to choose. Okay? And other people, as well meaning as they may be, or even as judgmental as they may speak about my life, but this life is my gift. And it is my relationship with the Creator to live a life in integrity, in goodness, in all of those ma'at qualities that Sister Shannon always reminds us of. I'm not just saying, you only live once and treat everybody whatever. No, we definitely must have ethics. Ethics are important. Okay. Ethics are necessary. Character is necessary. But your experience, your journey is something that you must advocate for and that you must be a good steward of, I believe. Okay. And so because we know that 2020 has been what 2020 has been and it is still unfolding, take responsibility for yourself. Okay. Tap in, check in with yourself, see how you're feeling right now. Pay attention to what concerns you and use some of these tools to support yourself in lifting up any energy that may feel heavy for you. Lift yourself up to celebrate that you made it. Let's celebrate first. Celebrate your progress here, that you are here at this moment. Okay. You are 100% responsible for your own happiness. Yes, you are. You are 100% responsible for your health. You're 100% responsible for your financial wherewithal. You're 100% responsible for the quality of people who you entertain in your life. You are 100% responsible for how you care for this planet. Okay. And if more people became, I think, more focused on being a responsible person, like let me be responsible. Let me be more responsible with love. Let me be more responsible with kindness. Let me be more responsible with sincerity. That's how we change the world from the inside out. That's how we change the world. It was Gandhi who said, be the change you wish to see. That's another way of putting it. Be the change you wish to see. So if you want to see a change in your life, be the change. Make a change. Make the change. Make the change. And I know many of you already are. I know many of you, this is not new. This is the this way of seeing and being things is something that is true and dear to you. But I just had to say it. I just had to say it again because it was on my tongue to come out. Because again, 2020. So let's go ahead and maximize the moment of this full moon. I got some things I got to do, so I'm going to wrap it up. Some good things to do. But already I'm so grateful that I have clarity. My prayers for clarity have been answered, and my clarity concerning my natural next step, as I like to say. What is your natural next step? My natural next step concerning an important aspect of my work in life purpose and mission and destiny has become clear. And so I'm about to go on and step into this moon and give thanks for the blessings of getting here, thanking my guardians, guides, ancestors, and the Most High Creator. Celebrate and go ahead and put some burdens down, release some things so that I can be empowered, and moving forward into the next steps. Like, you got it, sis. Like, it's in you. It's in you. And so what we do is we support one another as spiritual women. I thank you for being a beautiful and sacred being, a beautiful and sacred goddess, and a member of our community. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for your commitment to us. You're welcome, sister. You are welcome. Thank you, Sister Gina Ia Adeshoye. Yes, 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 yes. You're welcome. And so, last but not least, I'm going to be posting in the group. This is our beautiful and sacred marketplace. I'll be posting some updates, if not tonight, more than likely, let me just say tomorrow. I'll be posting some things tomorrow for women to share your marketplace offering. So, I'll create some sort of thread for that. And for women who are interested in having private consultations with me, I call them my higher vision consultations. If you feel that it will be helpful for you to have a conversation where we focus on you and your path and your journey and your intentions and your heart's desires, or gaining clarity, or making power moves, whatever it may be, I'm creating an irresistible offer. I believe it's irresistible for those of you that would desire some private time with me, particularly now, between now and the end of the year. And I'll be posting that tomorrow. Okay. So just allow me the grace of time to post it. And so these are deeply discounted rates. But like I said, I wanted to make it an irresistible yes. It's my opportunity to have one on one time with those of you who want that one on one time. And it's a great opportunity, I believe, and am presencing it as such. It's a great opportunity for renewing, reviewing, and getting clear about this end of this year and moving forward into the new year. All right. So thank you, sisters. I appreciate you. Thank you for hopping on. We are going strong. Much, much love to you all. I appreciate you. So have a wonderful evening. Happy full moon blessings to you all. And I'll see y'all prayerfully, trusting and believing tomorrow evening. Good night, soul sisters. Good night. Good night, YouTube family. Beautifulandsacredsoul.com is how you join us in the community. And you can also go to beautifulandsacredthings.com to explore the beautiful and sacred marketplace, the holiday marketplace 2020, for best intention oils, beautiful and sacred things intention oils, other sacred arts products, offerings, and services to support you in becoming the woman you were born to be. Namaste.